Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Theoretically Horrifying, where we discuss all things horrifying theoretically. My name's Alana.
And I'm Grace.
And today we're going to discuss some horrifying situations theoretically. Have you watched anything this week?
I watched Halloween Ends this week.
Oh, did you like it?
Yes. Right, I think I'm going to say something controversial now. I think it's the best Halloween film in the entire franchise.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard basically everything about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about it that would spoil anything, but I can understand why everyone seems to hate it. Everyone does seem to hate it. But it just worked for me. I was just in the cinema loving life, wanted to see it straight away after it.
I love
it's so
that.
good.
Okay, I'm going to have to watch it then.
Yeah, do.
Nobody ever wants to go to the cinema with me. I'm all alone.
Go on your own. Go on your own. It's the best way.
It's far. Like my nearest one, I say far, my nearest one's like 30 minutes away, but that feels depressing when you come out and it's dark and then you're just driving home in silence for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, the one that I go to is like 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
But it's like it's 25 minutes like in quite pedestrianised areas to drive through. It's not like in the middle of nowhere sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it just feels like traffic.
Yeah, that's fair. I watched Hellraiser yesterday. I hadn't seen it before.
The new one?
Not the new one. The original one.
Oh, I was going to say. What did you
think?
I
loved it.
It's so good,
yeah,
isn't it?
I love the way that they obviously it's just because it's old, but the way it's like the special effects, almost like illustrated. Obviously, as an illustrator, I'm like, ooh. So
the effects are something else. But like, I know it's older, but it doesn't necessarily feel too dated.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
We love Pinhead.
I'm gonna have to watch all of them now, even though I'm sure they probably get worse as they go on. But
they get worse. They definitely get worse. I can confirm that now.
So, do you have a question for me, Grace?
Right, I do have a question. Are you ready?
I am.
Right, we're going to set the scene. You're driving. It's in the middle of nowhere. You're in a really broke down forest area. No light. You haven't got any radio signal or anyone to call on the phone either. Zero signal. However, all of a sudden they turn off and the engine starts chugging.
Oh no.
You have to pull over on the side of the road. No help in sight, except a car rolls up in the distance and stops right next to you. You get sort of a gut feeling that something's going to go wrong. And rolled down the windows is either one of two people that you have to choose from to come help you. Joseph from Creep or Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. Both two lunatics. What do you think?
Oh god. I know who I think I would personally get along with better, and that would be Joseph.
Right.
For sure. I feel like
he's a nice chap.
We're on the same level of weirdo, whereas like Bateman's just a bit like the confidence is beyond me.
Yeah, he's a bit metropolitan.
I feel like he's more likely to know how to fix a car, so he might. Obviously, he's probably going to try and kill me, but he might fix my car first, and that might give me a chance to get away. Whereas I think Joseph's just going to immediately be like, "I have something to show you in the woods. Let's go by this stream and take some cool pictures." And I'll be like, "Ah."
Yeah, that like special heart rock or whatever it was.
That's kind of sweet though.
Yeah, I feel like Joseph is sort of endearing.
I agree.
Really weird way.
I kind of like him.
Maybe we're just not right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just us two that aren't right.
I mean, I think Joseph is probably physically weaker. Not that I think that I could fight off either of them, but I think my chances are better with Joseph. And I feel like I could probably... He's less logically insane. He's more like emotional. So I feel like I could play on the emotional side, whereas Patrick Bateman's just completely like emotionless. He's just going to do what he wants to do regardless of what I try to do about it. So yeah.
Quick spanner in the works. Joseph likes to then leave his victims be you know, because he likes the chase, and then he finds you. Whereas Bateman, he's got to get back to discuss his business cards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's that sort of play on play, and at least with Bateman, I don't know, you could maybe say like, oh, I like your suit, where did you get it? You could distract him.
Yeah.
You could flatter him. I love your skincare regime. He'd love it. But I feel like, who would you rather be killed by if you had to? I feel like Joseph would be more humane.
Yeah, I think so. I think my final answer is Joseph. I don't know about you, but
I think so, because I feel like all he wants is a friend, but I feel like he maybe just plays a character with each one of his victims.
True.
So we don't even know if he's actually Joseph.
I am a sucker for like a bit of a outcast though. He's on his own. But
yeah.
I feel like this.
Oh, bless him. I don't want to feel sorry for Joseph here. You're making me feel sorry for him.
Yeah. I mean, I felt sorry for him in both movies. I was like, especially the second one. I was like, poor guy.
Yeah. I know. I don't know about you with the second one. It was a will they, won't they, like either kill each other or like get along or even start a relationship. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, the second one was crazy, but I also was like, I'll be his friend.
And then the upcoming third one as well. I do not know what they're going to do there.
They're doing a third one.
They're doing a third one. I don't know what stage of production it's in, but then at the same time, I've heard that they're starting it for years now, so God knows.
That's cool. That's exciting.
Cool.
I really like those films, so yeah.
Yeah. So, forget that they've pulled up along to help you. So what you've done is you've gotten out your car, you see no helps in sight, no Patrick, no Joseph, right? However, you walk a little long up the lane, and it's quite dusty, and you see this driveway, a really long driveway, and you think, you know what, I'm just going to go down it, I'm going to see what happens. So you start to walk down it and you see a house. Turns out it's the house from either The Conjuring or the Amityville Horror.
Oh my God.
Which house would you rather have to go to for help? And it's not like you can knock on the door and say, no thank you. You have to like sit in, go have dinner, you know what I mean?
You have to go have dinner.
Yeah, you have to have a meal.
Horror mansion in there.
Could you imagine how much fun that would be?
I don't know. They're both horrible options.
Yeah, they are.
Is it like if I go into that house, is it that family that are in there?
It is that family, that entity as well. So you could be in a house with Ryan Reynolds.
That's exactly where I was going with that. Is Ryan Reynolds in the house?
Yeah. And they have a dog. Well, so do the others, but the dog is really cute in Amityville.
Ryan Reynolds is very tempting.
But he's possessed.
Yeah, but it's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh no.
I feel like that's a risk I'm willing to take. And also, I can't remember the film that well, but the family aren't possessed, right? It's just him. It's like a Shining situation.
No, it's just him, but pretty much like a Jack Torrance sort of, almost like cabin fever. But the thing is, so when people went to visit, obviously I'm talking about the remake here, when people went to visit the house, like all this mad stuff would happen. Like flies, just be really ill. I mean, I don't know if you remember the scene in the film where the little girl locks the babysitter in the closet. And that was like traumatizing. I'd be done for life there. Like that would all happen to you.
But The Conjuring seems worse. I feel like I would rather deal with paranormal manifestations within people rather than loose, like floating around. They're their own entity. That's terrifying. Yeah.
So is that like sort of your like personal ideology with that sort of question? You'd rather deal with the possession within humans rather than possession of entities?
Yes, I think so. I feel like because at least if you have a possessed person, you can like tie them up and try and do an exorcism and all that. Whereas if it's just you're just dealing with a ghost or whatever, that's just like or a demon. Like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna catch it? Like,
One thing I will say is that remember there's paranormal investigators at the Conjuring house to give you a helping hand.
True.
True. It's an age-old question. You could go back and forth for ages.
Oh my god. Something cracked behind me. That scared me.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
That is true. Paranormal investigators. How helpful are they really?
Rather helpful, I'd say, but then I think, obviously, this is probably looking too far into it, but Ed Warren was a bit of a creep, so he was a bit dodgy, so that's the choice. But, you know, got to weigh up those demons.
I don't know, it feels very arrogant of me to be like, I think I could survive the Amityville Horror House, but
I think it's more survivable than
I feel like
one, but more traumatizing.
I feel like the Conjuring's gonna get under my skin more. Like, that film freaked me out. So
I totally get where you're coming from.
I think I'm gonna go to the Amityville Horror House with Joseph, my new buddy.
Yeah. Wait 1 minute, could you imagine that spin-off?
Joseph, that would be amazing.
Yeah, Creep meets The Conjuring. Joseph and I can't remember her name, like Bashgaba or something like that. God, that would make a great team. They'd be the new Andek. That would be great.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. What house are you picking?
Okay. Oh, I actually didn't think about this question being reversed because that's really difficult. You know what? I'm going to go with The Conjuring.
Oh, interesting.
Actually. Because, right, this is going to sound very sadistic, there's more children to feed them off to the demons before it gets to me. Because it is the fight of
That's so evil.
I'm sorry.
I love that.
I think it's quite hedonistic, but, you know.
I love that. That's a great answer.
It is what it is. And it would be an experience. Let's live it up. With Joseph. Yeah. With Joseph.
Joseph has got to be the answer. I mean, Bateman is hot, but we've got Ryan Reynolds now, so.
I feel like Bateman would just go in the house and be like, ugh, this is gross. What do you do in 1 star? I'm rating you on TripAdvisor.
You awaken to find yourself with a group of strangers placed in a giant cube. Each one of you is gifted with a special skill and you must work together to escape an endless maze of deadly traps. Of course, you know what movie this is going to be.
Okay.
Do you think you're going to survive, and what is your special skill? And there is a second part to this question.
The arrogant side of me wants to say yes, I would survive. But realistically, I don't think I would. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems the odds would be against me. And I think it would be more sort of like, you know, the traditional thing of like in zombie films where it's like, oh yeah, the people are worse than the zombies. I feel like the people get on my nerves more than the actual
I think they're going to
be more like
than get on your nerves. They're going to, try and kill you to survive.
I think my special skill, I'm going to try and think outside the cube.
Nice.
So, I'm trying to think. See, I could do something like really cheeky and go like shape-shifting, so I could be like an air particle and fly out. Right. But you
are a human, remember?
But that's just not. Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Anything
special
can
power.
In the cube.
Anything can happen. Let's just hang it up. Right. So, I don't think I'd love to be an air particle in that situation, but I think, you know what? It's a very old one. I don't know how far it's going to help me, but it can't hurt to have super strength sort of thing.
Super strength would be good.
Because you could also relate that to like super mental strength as well, which can help you problem solve, can help you deal with everything, like what actions would be quicker, and then you can actually perform those actions better because of your strength. And I feel like you'd survive for longer just out of the sheer ability that your body can handle more quickly.
I feel like that is maybe not to that degree, but I mean, I'm very patient as a human being. Like, I'll just sit and wait for hours. I don't mind. I'm quite happy to wait. Nathan gets like irritated waiting in like a queue or whatever, and he's like, oh, this isn't worth it, and he'll leave. I will stand there for hours. I don't care. Like, I would just. So I feel like I could deal with the fact that a problem would take a long time to solve, though I do not have the mental capacity to actually solve it. So I think I would be there a long time.
I think it's one of those ones where it's like you need like multiple, like God knows how many like powers and abilities and strengths all together to fully work your way out, because it's sort of like a maniacal film, Q. Well, I think that's obviously the purpose of it, but and it's quite brutal when it all goes wrong, isn't it? So
you said about you need
multiple
abilities. That brings me on to my next question. So you are you don't have any special ability. Well, I mean, you do personally, because you're an amazing person, but it's the abilities that you actually have. But you can bring 4 fictional characters. They don't necessarily have to be from horror films, but just 4 fictional movie or book characters with you to help you get out the cube. Who are you bringing?
Oh, you haven't just done this to me, have you? Jeez. Right. I'm gonna think. Right. So rather than doing 4 characters that are all very similar, like, I'm not saying these characters, but a Jason and Michael Freddy sort of situation, I think I'm going to try and choose like all different types. And can they be like human, non-human?
It can be
all sorts.
Book, TV, film, but they have to be fictional. You can't take Morgan Freeman with you.
Could you imagine? He could narrate the whole thing. Right. So the first person, or thing, should I say, is going to have to be, this is going to be, it seems nonsensical until you bear with me here a minute. It's going to have to be, and I don't like it that I'm choosing this, because I would die out of panic, is the big spider from Eight-Legged Freaks.
Interesting choice.
Right, hold on.
Right.
I hate spiders so much, but hopefully, depending on what, like, sort of how far along within the whole scenario you are, it would ward people off.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely scare people off.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel, I don't even like the idea of, I don't even like thought this, no, I've said this, but I hate spiders. It'd be a bodyguard. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, I actually don't know why or how I can remember seeing Eight-Legged Freaks because of how much I hate it. I think it was when I was little. Oh, you are joking me. Do you like spiders?
I don't mind them. I don't want them on me. I will freak out if there's a spider on me. But if there's one like in the corner of a room, I will get a cup. I'm not like too bothered. Unless it lands on me and then I freak out.
Oh my gosh. Well, then I need to take you with me as well to the cube, just in case. Okay. So the second one, I need to bring... can't remember his name. What's his name? I could be getting the name completely wrong and sound like an idiot. Norman Bates from Psycho. Just the sheer brains on him. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, we never saw him like A+ a maths test or anything like that. But he just seems to have that sort of, the cogs are in motion all the time thing about him. I definitely say him. And plus also, like I said, the more sort of deranged people are that would be like on your side in a way, the better it is for me in general. So I'm going to bring Juno from The Descent.
Yeah, that I like that.
Yeah, I feel like she has that like sort of Girl Scout thing about her.
Yeah, she's tough.
I feel like that could. She is tough. I mean, well, she's the idiot that led them down to the cage thinking she could do it. Like, she has the great bravado. She has the bravado on her. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like See, the thing is, with choosing the characters, they might not help you, but they all just buy you time. And I feel like it would just help with that sort of aspect. Like, so just like the whole practicality of what's going on. Right, so I have got one more. Oh, hands down, Hannibal Lecter.
Why?
He's smart.
He's smart, I'll give you that.
He's smart. And I feel like the whole maths thing could be helpful. Because, I mean, I know he's a psychiatrist or therapist, something like that. But, you know, I mean, you have to be smart to get there. You have to know your equations, because they have to... I feel like when he's at that level, they have to administrate prescriptions, and because of that, you need to know a bit of like numerical values.
Alright, I'll give you that. That's just a pretty solid group.
So we've got a massive spider, Juno from The Descent, Norman Bates, and Hannibal Lecter.
And also, you don't like spiders. If you think there's a room that's going to just kill you instantly, you could send the spider in. So...
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, and Juno, like I said, I don't know how long she's going to help me for, but she buys me time. She does the job for me. Because I feel like the cube is survivable, but not at the same time, if you know what I mean. It all depends on what they're feeling like on the day. So
I like that.
Yeah,
solid group.
I'm going to have to go with that. So we got 2 practical,
that's what I was
smarties.
Thinking. Two smarties, two strongs.
Would yours be?
Well, my first smartie, I think it's the only person I truly need in there. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, smartest man on earth.
Is he the uncle one, isn't he?
He's his granddad, isn't he?
Oh, I don't think uncle, because I have seen it, but I haven't watched it in order, so I can't say.
Smartest man on earth,
but
he is incredibly selfish. So I need someone who's gonna back me up.
Balance
so I need Thor. Because he's a bit of a himbo. He's not the smartest, but I feel like he's gonna keep me alive, you know.
He's got body power to push through the obstacles.
And then my next strong is gonna be Predator.
Oh wow!
Because you can't kill. Well, I mean, he bleeds. You can't kill him, but it's very hard to kill. And he's got all his gadgets and weapons and things. I feel like he's going to be quite useful. And he's invisible. He can go invisible, so that would be useful for some rooms. I think.
I think multiple strengths.
And then another smartie I haven't really thought about, because I was Rick Sanchez is just unstoppable, but another smartie. Or do I pick a creature that I could just send in and like you did with the spider?
Yeah, and sort of keep things in line.
I was going to say a face hugger, but that's not going to end well for anyone. Oh, do you know what? Maybe Cujo, because at the end of the day, he's a dog. He's loyal, but I don't want to kill a dog. But he is also demonic, so.
I know. But he's a baby.
He's a big baby.
He's a big baby. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy, but I think I'm going to take Cujo. And also, it'd be nice to little pillow, sleep on him.
Yeah. And you know what? If you haven't got much time left, I'd rather spend it with a dog than a big spider.
Yeah, I would much rather, in the nights in this cube, cuddle up next to Cujo than Predator. So.
Yeah. Could you imagine how spiky that would be?
Oh dear. Yeah.
I'm liking your sort of thought there. I prefer it.
I was surprised at your answer, but I like it.
On the spot, do you know what I mean? No time to plan.
You thought outside of the cube,
See, that could help me. That could help me. Thank you for listening to Theoretically Horrifying Episode 2. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.